Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to today's live session, IMSM's live session. I'm very actually excited to be part of this today. The reason being is we're discussing an exciting collaboration between IMSM and Northern Regional College in Northern Ireland. So as an area manager in Northern Ireland, it is very, as I said, very exciting for myself. So I just want to start by introductions. So if everybody could sort of introduce themselves and what your role is in the college. Don't need any introductions for our own Maria. Maria is head of business development IMSM, and she's leading the way with these LinkedIn live sessions. So no introduction from yourself, but hello, Maria.
Hi everyone. We know each other just quickly. Aside from being the head of business development at the company, I'm also lead auditor. And the most important part of my job is that I help organizations develop their systems. And that's it. I love 27001, and this is the reason we are in collaboration with the college, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And just in order, no particular order, just on my screen, Nicola, and yourself, if you can just introduce yourself, just a description, basically a brief description of your role within the college.
Sure, no problem. Thank you, Angela. No, it's my name is Nicola Alford, so I'm the Business Engagement Officer here at Northern Regional College. So my role is really just to connect with businesses outside the college, try and connect them with relevant funding to help match their training needs, and also develop relationships just to strengthen the college's role sort of within the community. That's both local and the wider community as well. So that's kind of my role in a nutshell.
Thank you. And Patty, yourself.
Hi, my name's Patty Holly. I'm part of the marketing and communications team at Northern Regional College, and my role within the team is to look after media and press relations.
Thank you.
General PR.
Thank you. Andrew, yourself.
My name is Andrew Paul. I'm a computing lecturer at Northern Regional College, but specifically I'm the module lead for the Cybersecurity course that's part of our foundation degree program. And I'm probably the most excited person on this call.
Hopefully you are. Michelle and yourself.
Morning, everyone. My name is Michelle Bellingham, and I'm a part of the market and communications team. My role would be publications and websites, and obviously the key recruitment of all of our prospective students. So, yeah.
Thank you, everybody, and welcome. And thank you for coming along and participating in this session. I had a good chat with some of you last week, and it was nice to be introduced to yourselves. And I'm loving the fact that this is local to me and this collaboration within Northern Ireland. So I'll just give a sort of a brief overview if anybody wants to add to that in terms of what the collaboration is. So first of all, in April of this year, IMSM will be entering the classroom. Is that right, Maria?
Yeah, that's right.
And we'll be talking about ISO 27001 information security standard with students within their cybersecurity module. Following that, then we have offered an opportunity to a number of students to give them work experience placement for a week with IMSM, and that will be later in the academic year. So that's just a brief overview of the collaboration. We feel it is very exciting, and it's nice to work with students who are obviously future for within Northern Ireland as well. Then just over really, Andrew, yourself, in terms of how this collaboration started and this budding relationship with IMSM, I came into it in mid-January. Maria asked me to be part of it, but I know you were already having chats before this. If you wanted to give me an overview of how it all began, that would be great.
Yeah, so as sort of in the build-up, I used to work in industry and did a little bit, not very much, of cybersecurity bits and pieces. And part of my master's program, I looked at that. But I always had an interest in cybersecurity, and we were building a brand new foundation degree program. And one of the new modules on it was cybersecurity, because we're always trying to keep up with the current trends and needs and listen to what employers are wanting, and to really deliver on that and produce students that are coming out that are ready for industry. And to not have a cybersecurity module in this day and age, it's criminal. So we had to have one. So it's been in the running for the last 18 months of preparation or so, because it's a second year module for us. So we spent a lot of time focusing and getting it ready. And through the EC Council, I discovered the Cyber Data and Security Summit, which I've been to once or twice, and have done bits and pieces of research. And this year it was particularly different because of COVID. It was online, it was virtual. And usually you potter around the stands, it's usually in London, you potter around and you meet some people and sort of go, yeah, could you help me out? What do you do? What industry do you work in? Education? They're like, no, sorry, no, we're out. That's it, game over. There's no money to be made, we're gone. Right, okay, I tried. But this particular year was very different. The stands were virtual. And I just finished writing the course and putting the content together. We're trying to do the course very differently from other courses too. In that we are actually trying to teach our students hacking physical techniques for the first 8 weeks, and then we're tackling the legislation in to the last sort of 4 weeks of the paperwork that a business would expect. Whereas a lot of other courses, you do sort of the bland, boring stuff for nearly 12 weeks, and you sort of get a hint that there's cool stuff in the background, but you never quite get to it. So we're trying to figure that this year. And I'm really ready for the first 8 weeks, but I'm going the last few weeks of legislation, the standards. What am I going to do here? Wouldn't it be great if I could get some industry people in to come in and do that? And literally, that was my one goal of the day, was to get some insight, someone that could potentially help me out a little bit. This message popped up on my screen from Maria, and it was like, I'm the lead auditor at IMSM, we're doing this, and is there anything I can help you with? I'm probably thinking, making a lot of money here, going to get a big client on, but if it wasn't, it was Andrew Paul from NRC, so it wasn't going to do that. but at that stage, I just turned around and I said, actually, we're doing this, and I would love a business to come in, look at standards, look at auditing, and try and explain that, just so it's not dry, boring stuff out of a textbook that lecturers are delivering again, just to make it practical, connected in the industry. And I usually get these messages of, yeah, we'll talk at some stage, and it never happens, it fizzles out. But IMSM are one of those brilliant companies who have followed up, they've come through, and as a result of the collaborations here today, where Maria and the team have kindly said that they're going to come in, they're going to take our students for one of those weeks, show the standards, show the auditing, get our students ready for their last piece of coursework, and then just really the follow through in the work experience. I'm excited. I wish I could take part.
Fantastic, thank you, Andrew. It is exciting. Have you on board as well, and I'm looking forward to being part of the work experience with. So you'll have to give me some tips on how to engage all of these students as well. This is my first time doing it. Maria, obviously you're part in this as well in terms of how this has came together. How important do you feel ISO 27001 is in teachings of cybersecurity?
Thanks, Angie. That's a really good question. Thank you, Andrew. First of all, it was my pleasure meeting you on the Cybersecurity Summit. So, in my opinion, it is essential for students who read cybersecurity to actually understand as well how it fits into the organization's processes from a very, very practical point of view. So in this situation, ISO 27001 just happens to be maybe the best set of good practices we can refer to. It has 114 controls, and it helps organizations protect the information from so many aspects, from human resources throughout operations, development, legal compliance, etc., etc. So it offers a great opportunity for students to learn how their theoretical and academic competencies and skills will be used in an organization from a very practical point of view.
Okay, fantastic. Andrew, what is your thoughts on that?
I think flashing back to my, whenever I was a wee junior software engineer in my first few weeks, and you got the emails out going, the auditor's coming in, we have to meet this standard, and you're going, what? It's something in education I don't feel you sort of knew what it was, but you'd never experienced it and you'd never talked about it in detail. And like I say, there's a lot of courses out there already that cover a lot of theory. But to really have that experience, tying the theory into the practical, seeing how it works, and knowing what a business is looking for and expecting before you stepped out the door. I think with this and the experiences that are going to come from IMSM, our students are going to be in the best position compared to the other colleges and universities out there, just because this is going to be something that is essential that they're going to get taught and experience of before any other of their peers.
Actually, what we're going to tell them and teach them is how to lock the drawers.
I missed that. How to what?
That's very interesting, because when I explain the difference between the concept of cybersecurity and information security, I always give an example. For instance, imagine that you have 1,000 computers working in grids, calculating something very confidential, and everything's up and running, and cybersecurity is brilliant, and nothing bad happens, and even you have electricity supply on, all's good. And then they get the result, they write it down on a piece of paper, and they just leave this piece of paper on their desk. So no matter how good their theoretical skills are, if they don't know how to protect the final result, so that piece of paper, we do nothing.
Yeah. And Andrew, you were mentioning then just about work experience and how important it is, just even out to the rest of the guests on the live session, in terms of work experience, not even just within this module or these students that we're dealing with across the college. How important is work experience for students? Like she says, in the real working world as well.
I think it's essential. So it is. Work placement is a big component for a lot of our courses, and I think that's what makes us kind of different, is because we do combine theory with practical work, and I think it's so important because we want obviously our students to attain the skills that employers are looking for, and that's why we work so closely with employers to making sure that our students are coming away with those industry specific skills to give them that head start when they do actually go out. So we actually give them the employability skills, and that is through, I think, the work placements that we do offer. Yeah.
And I think that's, Michelle, I was just going to say that's where my role obviously comes in, because that's, I would be strengthening those relationships with businesses, with companies, just to make sure that we have the amazing opportunities for our students, that we can offer them that, just to get them that real work experience.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe moving off the subject, but in terms of the COVID world, are you finding it more difficult placing students?
Yeah. I think that there's just so many businesses that haven't been able to operate as normal, and they've been so busy looking after their full-time or part-time staff that are on their books that whenever you approach them and go, look, we have some students here for work experience, they're going, we would love to, but we kind of have to look after the people that we're paying, and and it's hard, especially because there's some students maybe who might be shielding as well, that might not be able to leave the house, when it's trying to find them the correct placement to that they can work from home, that they can get that relevant experience that they need. But that's just that's another program that I've been working on. I don't know, Andrew, if you've been having similar problems as well.
Yeah, all our foundation degree students have a compulsory work-based learning modules at the moment. So actually at the moment they're doing 1 day of cybersecurity less than 4 days of work-based learning. And for them to get that experience, it's essential. They need it to apply what they've learned, and they're ready then. But this year it's been a challenge for them to try and get placements. Thankfully, everyone that has now got some sort of placement or project that's taken part in industry. And the thing that I'm really liking about the projects in particular this year is that so many of them now, because they are being done from home, they're not necessarily in an office. It's not in a lockdown network. Maybe they don't have a key for that, Dora Maria. But there is more going on where they have to consider what is encryption, what are safe connections, what's going on here. and their projects and where it's going. It's quite nice to see that they're anticipating that and planning around that, and hopefully putting stuff into practice, and hopefully through the course list module, and particularly in the latter weeks with IMSM, then they'll have something that's very, very right and practically correct, and something they can then talk about in the future wherever they go.
That's fantastic. I know from IMSM side of things, Maria, you'd agree that we were very much face-to-face company, and we've had to move with the times very quickly and invest in more technology to allow us to do that. So many clients that I'm speaking to they are at the minute face-to-face, and it's fantastic that we do have this technology to allow us to do that. But my son, for example, he's vocational study, and his is very much practical, and he can't get a placement at the minute. So I do feel it's a fantastic opportunity for students that we are going to be working with, and the fact that, if needs be, we can do work in an online environment as well with them. So moving on to that side of things, so we have a week of work experience planned for some of your students, Andrew, and as I said, I'm going to be participating in that. So in terms of activities we want to plan for these students, we want it to be as productive as possible, and we want them to come away with learnings as well, and things that they can obviously apply in their future working lives, and obviously in their course too. Have you sort of any activities in mind for us that would be beneficial to the students, or anybody with have any activities in mind? Just throwing it out there, gives a bit of help.
I'm not sure, Andrew. Maybe you might be able to answer that. So I'll just pressure Andrew.
Shall I then propose a couple of activities, and you can tell us how you see those activities that we've planned already? So I'm thinking about a week of experience, as we said, in the mornings for the students being lectured on different standards, quality standards, including 27001, and in the afternoons working in groups, promoting their ideas on social media, writing blogs, whatever, just sharing with each other and their community what they've learned and how they feel about it. And then the last day, we are thinking actually giving them a CPD certified, internal auditor course on quality management systems. So it's going to look very, very well on their CVs, and they can actually join an organization and use those skills in the future.
How does that sound? I think that was in terms of the course on later in the week, that would be fantastic. As you said, it's giving them something to put on their CVs, and it's fantastic too.
Yeah, it's a takeaway, because sometimes students do work experience and it's an experience and that's all they get. But to give them qualification, I think is fantastic. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's work experience. They're going to work for us.
Yeah.
So we'd like to reward them with something tangible. So this is the plan. And Angie, you happy to take over in the afternoons and organize them in groups and supervise the work?
Yes.
Are you getting a reward as well?
A couple of bottles of wine. I will need, as he says, I will need tips, Andrew, to keep them engaged too. The rest of yourselves, if you can give me some tips. So, I have delivered training before, not to students, but within previous roles. I've been a trainer, so I understand how to engage people, but it's different when you're working with students, especially at the minute I'm homeschooling as well as trying to work, so it's very hard.
Very hard.
I bet parents are gonna be just very happy with us helping them out with some school.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I think that's it. And it's trying to just make sure it's an enriching experience, and which it sounds like it's going to be for the students and, as you say, for the parents to kind of go, yep, they're getting something worthwhile and a qualification at the end of it. I think that's fantastic.
It is. It's a win-win for them, as I say, because they are coming away with something at the end of the week, which is great. And as you say, it just enhances their CV. So brilliant opportunity for them.
Yeah.
They're very fortunate.
On top of enhancing their CVs and offering new opportunities to find a job after they graduate, I think that we have to commit to our societal targets to make people understand how cybersecurity and information security can help them prevent bigger challenges in life. So, you know, cyber attacks, phishing, stuff like that. So we have a societal obligation to promote security. So we're happy to help.
Yeah, I do totally agree with that. In a previous role I worked in, I worked in the complaints department in banking for a period of time, and having to deal with customers who were fortunate to be victims of cybersecurity, for example, and it's not pleasant. So yeah, I think it is extremely important that they know how to be safe as well. So.
Yeah, definitely. I think just with the advances in technology, even in the last year during COVID, just shows, you know, how much we are going to come to rely on technology, and to keep it safe is definitely a priority, just so that we know that we're all safe online.
Yeah, we were looking at social engineering yesterday, and we were looking at Frank Abagnale, you know, the sort of character from Catch Me If You Can, and like the number of the human vulnerabilities that were there at that stage, whenever there weren't really computers, there weren't really anything, and using all the same techniques and translating those into a modern age, and the vulnerability of people.
Yeah, this is how the ISO 27001 helps as well. It gives us the opportunity to look from every single aspect and protect ourselves, the company, families, and the society, generally speaking.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
Angie,
yes.
Shall we just, before we finish, announce our quiz as well?
Yes. Will you have more of the details? I can't remember the date of the quiz, Maria.
February 19th at midday.
Okay, so go ahead. Sorry. You're the one that knows most about it, so go ahead.
Okay, I'm taking the lead. I'm very pleased to announce for the first time live today that actually on February 19th, we're running our second charity quiz. So it's a Who Want to Be a Millionaire format quiz. Half an hour. And we invite everyone to join us. It's free of charge for participants, but IMSM pays £1 for each participant to charity. So yeah, we'll send over the link for registrations if you'd like to join us. You're very welcome, you and your students.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, that would be great. I love a good quiz. Especially when I know the answers.
I love the taste, but I do like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire as well.
Yeah.
Quite a geek when it comes to that, and in the evenings that's what our activity is.
Oh, God, amazing the things that you think of to do that you would never thought of a year ago. Yourself.
Well, it's our second quiz, as I say. We did one in Christmas and it was hugely successful, but it's the first one as a Who Wanna Be a Millionaire. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
That sounds
good. Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
How well I do. Listen, everybody, thank you so much for coming on and participating. It's been very worthwhile. And as I said, I'm really looking forward to what's ahead in the coming months, and looking forward to working with your students as well, Andrew. So, well, we'll wait to see what happens. We'll make sure that. Make sure that the activities that we have planned for them, obviously, that the week is full, and we'll keep them busy too. So yeah. If anybody has if nobody's anything else to say or contribute, then I'm happy enough just to say trio this stage. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.